Hello there, how are ya? Welcome back to How I Did It. This week's video is just a brief overview of the local damage and flooding that we had from Hurricane Ian. Now, the lake that we live on here in town overflowed to the point that it came through people's homes and out onto the road. Now these lots are not small lots. Some of them are a quarter acre,
This is
some of
terrible.
them are half an acre. This
This
water
is so
came right
terrible.
up out of the lake basin, through their backyards, through their homes, and as you can see, out to the street. Some of them are just absolutely devastated by the amount of flooding that occurred. We had hurricane force winds for a brief period of time, and then it was tropical force with gusts. I had a lot of tree branches and things like that down, but this flooding that you're seeing, I was so blessed. None of it impacted our home. Some of these people have just finished remodeling. Some people purchased these homes, demolished the home, built a brand new home on it. And unfortunately, with some of the new construction, they raised the elevation so much that where the water landed on their property, it just ran right over sideways into their neighbor's house. As you can see, this is the lake back there that has come all the way through these people's homes and up to our actual roadway. Just absolutely incredible. Now, I've lived here for 35 plus years and never have I seen the lake levels come up like this. The other thing that they did was they changed around the culvert system in this neighborhood to where it would all drain into that lake. And unfortunately, it funneled it all to the lake, which flooded all these people's homes, but everybody else's home that was not on the lake basically was kept dry. What do they say, for the greater good? I don't think so. You just, look at these people who have lived here. One lady was 90 something years old and her house was flooded out back there. So it's just a pretty sad state of affairs for our neighborhood. Everybody's busy trying to do cleanup. Most insurances are being absolutely wonderful. And it's amazing at how long the ground is actually staying wet. I went out to try to cut tree branches up when the water receded past the fence line in the backyard, if you remember from last week's Puppy Friday. And I was actually standing in ankle-deep mud. The ground is still just that saturated, and we haven't had a spot of rain since the hurricane. Anyway, this is out at the off-grid barn. Thought I'd give you a quick look. Fortunately, out here, had the barn built up high enough, it did not affect it. There is some standing water, but everything out here just fared so well. And again, we had hurricane force winds for a while, and then tropical force with hurricane gusts. And as you'll note right here, I'm just so proud of this. This is my 6-foot tall Harbor Freight car canopy that I made tall enough to house my RV, and that thing absolutely performed like a champ. I'll put the link up there if you want to see how I did this. It was actually a 3-part series, and part 2 is where I actually did the long legs, which all it was top rail for a chain link fence, but it was the perfect height for me to be able to drive my RV right underneath there. And then I'm just coming around over here just to give you a quick look. Again, the ground is wet. I have the Jeep in 4-wheel drive, but the ponds and the swales that I put in prior to this storm's arrival work fantastic. Wind power is absolutely jamming. It's keeping my battery banks all working out here, keeping power out here at the off-grid barn. My chicken coop is still standing. I mean, just I cannot be more grateful that I basically came through the storm virtually unscathed, just totally blessed, absolutely totally blessed. Mr. Whopper is growing like a champ. He did absolutely fantastic. He had the barn to get into and he did utilize it. And then there's the second pond. Now my driveway, I had to build a long swale going all the way down to the pond so I could dry out the entrance gate right there. But even that worked like a charm. I mean, I could actually see water flowing through that little swale or gutter or whatever you want to call it that I cut down there. And then as you can hear when I'm driving and see there on the ground, there's still some pretty good standing water. But overall, just absolutely amazed at how well and how fortunate I was. Now this was a couple days later. The water level's down, and where that square's at underneath the treehouse, that used to be my floating dock out there. I sunk 20-foot galvanized pipes down in, and it held the dock in place with those round wings on the outside edges of the dock right here. That wind was so strong it pulled the whole dock and the platform out off of those galvanized pipes and across the lake. Now those galvanized pipes were underwater. That'll give you an idea of how much the water has gone down. And then this is just another look of it. Again, absolutely totally thankful and blessed. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful and blessed week. I'll see you next time on How I Did It.